questionable week for you. He's rip-roaring to go. It came from the proctologist a little while ago. 2 fans recognized him there. That's very uncomfortable. What do you like on the show today, Izzy?
I know it's not a popular thing to say, but it's kind of Alshon Jeffrey's fault.
Ouch. Dale, papi.
Is Tom Brady right that everyone thinks the Patriots suck?
He was hissing underdog Tom Brady. I felt like he was talking directly to me, who picked the Chargers to win that game. And then to my horror, imagine my horror when I realized, wait a minute, they're going to do that 7 defensive back thing again? Do they think that Lamar Jackson and Tom Brady are the same kind of quarterback? Listen to Tom Brady. He doesn't have any time for your doubt.
You know, everyone thinks we suck and, you know, can't win any games. So we'll see. It'll be fun.
It's kind of true. In retrospect, look at the regular season. They had a crazy impressive 6-game winning streak that included wins over the Colts, the Chiefs, and at the Bears. And the other 3 opponents that they had, they outscored by an average of 21 points. They've now played 5 playoff teams, and that offense, Dan, scored 37-plus points against those 5 playoff teams. So say what you will about the other games that they had in those lackluster performances, they had a very good regular season, and now getting healthy. Tom Brady supposedly had an MCL problem that he got a little bit healthier going into this playoff game. I'm telling you, that offense is going to be there, and if you're looking forward against a Chiefs defense that, yeah, looked good against the Colts, I know you don't have that same confidence when Bill Belichick and the Patriots go against that defense.
They just did it without anything much from Gronk. That's what they just did to the Chargers. I thought they were the most balanced team in the league, the Chargers, right up there with the Saints. They had a better record than the Patriots this year. They were somewhat damaged by having to play Baltimore last year. You know the greatest Patriot advantage is that they usually get 2 home games and a bye. But since turning 40, this is a stat from the Sporting News, and I've been saying that Tom Brady's deep ball fluttering indicated that he was on the decline for about 4 seasons. Since turning 40 in playoff games, he's averaging over 350 yards a game, 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions in playoff games since he turned 40.
Do you think that anyone listens to what you say?
They shouldn't anymore, honestly. I had the Chargers winning the Super Bowl.
Idiot. Was the Eagles lost Alshon Jeffrey's fault?
This is a guy who last month said, I have the best hands in the league. He gets targeted a lot, and he's only had 3 drops in the last few seasons, but he picked a terrible time to have this one. One of the things that has made Nick Foles great is he throws more to Alshon Jeffrey, trusts him more than Carson Wentz does. But when you watch that play, watch it again. It's not just that it was a perfect throw right through his hands. And then I'm not even sure that's the worst indignity. Can you guys roll that back again just so you can see what happens to him after he realizes, oh my God, I just blew the season. He also gets totally blown up by people here. Like, get out of here. Get out of here.
Oh, man, that isn't fair. But look, all the other parts of both teams seemed to do their job to get them in that position, right? Nick Foles was great early on, then he turned kind of into a backup quarterback in the second half. The Saints weren't great, but that offense put together one ridiculously long drive that shows you that they can do anything. Obviously, Michael Thomas was great, Drew Brees was great. That missed field goal set up Nick Foles for more Foles magic. He had 1 pass to Zach Ertz, he had that 1 roughing the passer penalty. Here we go. I'm going to my safest guy, Alshon Jeffrey, and it's right through his hands. I know you say 1 play doesn't cost the entire game. I know you can't put the blame on one particular guy, but when you look back at the Foles magical ride, how did it end? That guy's hands. Man, that's going to be remembered for a long time.
I talked to Rodney Harrison on the radio today. This is a lead announcer on Sunday Night Football, and this is what he actually said. You got to go back to Wentz now. And then I asked him, but what if Jeffrey catches that ball and they win? Well, then you stick with Foles. You stick with Foles. That's how thin the margin is.
Can I say something to Alshon Jeffrey?
Yes, of course, Poppy.
Man, I tell you, you made me look like a fool. You know, I picked Nick Foles to win it all. You know, I thought that they were going to win that game with about 2.5 minutes left. You know, he was driving. I could see fire in his eyes. You know, I could see him releasing that ball and all of this other. You blew it. Yeah. You blew it. Went through your hands. You know what I mean? Now I look like a fool, you know, because I picked him not only to win that game, I picked him to win the whole ball of wax, the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I saw people, you know, carrying him off the field on their shoulders and all that, like Nick Foles crying, you know. He was going to be the king of Philadelphia and all of this other. He's just another guy. Did Sean McVay prove his genius in beating the Cowboys with running and defense?
Did you guys think that the Cowboys' rush defense, which has been exceptional all season, that the only thing would beat them would be the Rams pounding the ball with Todd Gurley? They've used this season Todd Gurley as a decoy in one game to open up their offense. And in this one, they decided to go straight at what is supposed to be the Cowboys' strength, the thing that totally stopped the Saints. I am surprised that they went this route. I'm surprised that they had success going this route. I would have thought it would have taken balance.
It might be a genius move by Sean McVay, or it could be the tell that their scouting department found in the defensive line of the Cowboys. They said after that game that tell was correct about 90% of the time against the Cowboys. And if you have a bruiser like Todd Gurley and he has those tells, of course you're going to get 7 yards per carry. And then if you have an even bigger bowling ball like C.J. Anderson coming in after him, he's going to give you 5 more yards a carry. It might be McVay genius, or it might just be Dallas incompetence. Either way, you have Todd Gurley, you want to use him.
You get into one of these situations, though, where you have to give the coach and the front office credit for being able to pick up that tell, for seeing that the Dallas Cowboy line, when it was shifting back and forth, was giving away its defense. And then you've got to trust that information enough to build a game plan around it. This does speak to him having some information sometimes that others don't. And when winning is in the margins in these games, you need a guy who gives you these kinds of advantages.
Did you see C.J. Anderson dominating the game?
Yes, he referred to him as a beefier bowling ball.
That was another great moment for Fat Guy.
It was a great moment for Fat Guy.
I had a place in the game.
The entire game I was thinking of you, Dan. I mean, Fat Guys, Dan.
Did the Chiefs' domination of the Colts make you think that Andy Reid could change his playoff narrative?
Okay, the playoff narrative is such around Andy Reid, even though the 4 coaches that are remaining, as Mina Kimes has pointed out, are the Mount Rushmore that you're looking for right now in this sport. These are 4 excellent coaches. And yet, if I were to tell you, who do you trust more on this coming weekend? The coach and the quarterback who haven't won the Super Bowl, or the coach and the quarterback who have? I think a lot of people are going to ride the Patriots, even though the Patriots have been really bad on the road this year. However, this is what I would say to you. Mahomes does not look rattleable. He looks like someone who is very calm out there, throwing the ball sideways, throwing the ball submarining it out there, getting Travis Kelce open on plays when Travis Kelce's not open. I don't know that anyone can slow Mahomes down, but the team that's coming in there is the one you fear the most to do it.
I would argue that Andy Reid would probably tell you that his playoff failures have more to do with QB limitations than it does with his personal failure. And you know he's never been more confident going into an AFC championship or any playoff game than you had with Patrick Mahomes on your side. But that's not the side of the ball that would make me lack confidence in the Chiefs. It's the other side. And again, I know what they did against the Colts, and they looked fantastic. But are you going to tell me that Bill Belichick, after putting 43 on that defense during the regular season, isn't going to have a better strategy than the Colts? But if it's a war with the Patriots defense against Patrick Mahomes, I'm still not sure who I'm going to pick, because again, Patrick Mahomes put 40 in Foxborough earlier this year. This is going to be a great game. I don't know which side I have more confidence in.
Once again, is he not realizing that the point here is to know? What you have to do is say, the Chargers are going to win the Super Bowl, and then you come and eat it, and we do it again next week.
I think that's his job.
Well, I know what is going to happen.
You do?
Oh, man, the Chiefs, they're going to be on fire. They're going to be playing great. You know, this is going to get down to the 4th quarter. You know, it's a very close game, and all of a sudden, you know.
The game predicted this last week, too, though.
Oh, it's dusty in here.
Yeah, well,
Allergies. 4th quarter allergies. Unfortunate time. Okay, okay, very good. All right, good talking to you, Poppy. Excellent analysis.
Should the A's pay Kyler Murray millions more to play baseball?
This one's a fascinating story, because I think at any time through the last 30 years, everyone would say, go play baseball, take your guaranteed money, don't get near the violence. But the quarterback position has changed so much in terms of how many rules protect the quarterback safety that you can see that this guy who is great at quarterback might say to himself, I'm better at football as more of a guarantee than I am at getting baseball minor leagues to the major leagues. Having Scott Boras as your agent, though, you muddle the situation. You make it totally murky, and you make the Oakland A's come into a meeting where they are deciding to pay more money to keep you away from football. That's exactly how you do it if you're an agent.
If you do this sort of in a worst case, best case scenario for Kyler Murray, Worst case scenario is who? Probably Tim Tebow, right? You go in, you're not that great, then you can go into baseball, but obviously you would have more recent experience that can go ahead and pick up almost right where you left off with that sport. Best case scenario, you're looking at a Russell Wilson type who can play quarterback for 15 years and be very good. I don't know why you don't look at this and say, hey, he can get back into baseball when he's 25, 26-year-old and still have an extended career and not have a life of what if. So now the A's are asking him how much money for you to get rid of that dream and just play baseball.
I'm surprised, honestly, that Scott Boras didn't personally pay for the buyout of Cliff Kingsbury in Arizona at USC, because Cliff Kingsbury has already told you he would take Kyler Murray #1, and he's got the #1 pick. I'm sure Boras is showing those quotes to the Oakland A's in order to get that price tag up.
Is Kyrie Irving telling the Celtics something they need to hear?
My father was very happy here seeing the Heat beat the Celtics, and then the Celtics go to Orlando and they lose there too. And look at the end of this game against Orlando. Kyrie wanted the ball, and this is the issue when you've got a lot of guys who want the ball. Yeah, I'm guessing he just ignored the play call. And so after the game, here's what Kyrie Irving has to say. He's still hissing a little bit.
It's not easy to be great. So the things that you're doing, that you've done your whole entire career, of being able to, you know, kind of coast by in certain situations, and you've gotten away with your youth and stuff like that. Being on a championship ball club, you can't get away with that. We come into this season expectations, and it's real. Everyone, from the coaching staff to the players, it's very much real every single day. So that's new. You know, it's tough. It's hard. You know, so I think that what we're facing now is nothing compared to being on that stage trying to get a gold trophy. You know, if it's hard now, what do you think it's going to be like when, you know, we're trying to get to the finals?
That's essentially Kyrie Irving calling the rest of his teammates out. He looks around and says, what was I supposed to have? I was supposed to have Gordon Hayward. Well, he's probably not going to be himself all year long, and frankly, this offense might not be suited for him. I was supposed to have a better Jaylen Brown. He's been in and out of the lineup with some injuries and some sickness, but he's starting to come around. But look at Jason Tatum. Go look at his game log and look how unspectacular it is. We were supposed to see this leap from him, from last year to this year, and we haven't seen that. And when you're talking about a team that's constantly talking about effort, or we're not playing hard enough to beat these other teams, who are you supposed to rely on for that effort? It's the younger players. So Kyrie is either telling them, hey, get your act together and play like it's Game 7 of the playoffs every single day, or maybe we should consider trading you for a veteran who knows what it takes to win.
Okay, he's right about everything that he said, but Kyrie Irving can walk into any room for the rest of the time, and only if Ray Allen is one of them can someone have a bigger shot than the one he's had. He's telling you, hey, end of game, get it over here.
Wow. He really learned from LeBron. Now he's blaming every single teammate that he has for the losses. It's not me, it's everybody else. You know, the same shit that LeBron
Where's Kevin Love? Let's trade for him.
Where's Kevin Love? What we got Kevin Love? How about Gordon Hayward? That's the guy. He can't play anymore.
Gordon.
You know, Tatum. He's a failure. You know, he's a bump. You know what I mean? And on and on and on. Wow. Coming up next on Highly Questionable, maybe he had to go to the bathroom.
Okay,
you know what I mean? That happened to me. You know what I mean? It happened to me over the weekend. You know what I mean?
You're shaking the billionaire's hand and you poop yourself.
To play the game that thinks that Instagram egg looks delicious. Do you question?
I honestly don't even know the reference. You give us topics and events and we question them.
Twitter egg as well looks delicious.
What do you mean? He played the Clippers and he scored 45 points against them? Is that what happened?
Yes.
Do you question if Blake Griffin saw Steve Ballmer?
Okay, my father not very impressed. You may have heard whispering under his breath, sort of discussing what? He scored 45 points against the Clippers in his return to L.A.? Yep, and the owner of the Clippers, Steve Ballmer, is over here. Gonna look out for Blake Griffin. And Blake Griffin, yes, like the turn in a roller coaster, just sprints off far away. Izzy, here's the thing. Blake has said that he's been doing this for 9 years pregame, but then when he was asked hypothetically, he was just asked, well, if it wasn't pregame, would you have shaken his hand? His response was, I don't answer hypothetical questions. I was actually ready to believe Blake Griffin when he said, hey, I've been doing this for 9 years. But when he said, I'm not answering the question, I go back to Ballmer's side on this.
I have fallen victim to that exact same move. I've been sitting there, sidelines, pregame, waiting to talk to Blake Griffin, gather some notes before a game. Bam, he takes off. So I do know that that is a real routine. However, look at this little glance right there.
Yeah, they're
you
right
know
there.
Steve Ballmer's
Right
right
there.
there. Everybody in that room knows that Steve Ballmer's right there. You do when a billionaire's present, right?
Let's look at this again just so that we can see the side eye that Blake Griffin gave him before beginning his sprint. This is timing is suspicious.
One leg. What?
Maybe he had no choice. Maybe he had to go to the bathroom.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
so
That
there
happened
you go.
to me. You
How
know what I mean? It happened to
embarrassing
me
would
over
that
the
be,
weekend. You
right?
know what I
You're
mean?
shaking the
That's
billionaire's hand and you
That's
poop
right.
yourself.
That's
Huh?
right. You gotta go. You gotta go. You can't stop because if you stop to shake hands, you know what is going to happen.
What he just said.
That's right. Do you question if they should make Cody Parkey feel better?
All right, his name is Parky, but my father thinks it's funny for some reason to call him Porky. He's been laughing at Cody Porky for a week now. Let's check in with a brewery, though, that's offering, if you think it's so easy, a handful of people the ability to kick a 43-yard field goal for a prize. Let's see what happens here as 5 people make the attempt. Ouch. Ouch.
You knew this was going to happen.
Ouch.
Where are these people wearing cleats? Any of them?
Oh! I mean, that's a lot of snow, though. I mean, the field wasn't like that. Oh, jeez. That's terrible.
If I were Cody Parkey, I'd feel a little bit better. Oh, Mike Golick Jr. I'd feel a little bit better if all of these people had some sort of groin injury afterward, including Golick.
100 people tried. 100 people missed. How did that guy lose? Wait a minute. What did that security guard do? Bang! There it is.
Bang.
What? You should win the game if you can do that at the end of it. Make everyone laugh and happy at the end. Can we slow that down and just look at it again and again? Can you guys just slow that down so we can isolate that poor security guard who's arrived at this sad place in life where he's protecting the field goal competition?
Nothing will get me here. Oh, you're wrong.
It's impossible. I mean, that seems harder than making a 43-yard field goal.
Congratulations.
Doink. Do you question if this is unsportsmanlike conduct?
We're about to show you a sack. And also something that this guy did to celebrate tackling the quarterback. Here we go with the Colts, number 96.
How long you been sitting on that one, Dan?
Here it is, and he is happy, and it's a great play, and it's 4th and 5. And then he does this right in the face of the referee.
I mean, the referee asked for it. He could have just kept walking. He could have gone on his way. Instead, he sat there and got a show. And he gets the flag called.
This was dumb. How bad do you feel about yourself as a referee when you do that to a guy? Those Chiefs are hard to tackle. They're fast. That offense is good. Allow the man to have some sensual feelings in his loins, for the love of God, without taking 15 yards from him.
I think that guy watches the show. He's imitating my move. This is the way you do it. Strike, 1, 2, 3. Strike, 1, 2, 3. Strike, 1, 2. 3, strike, 1, 2,
All right.
3.
See it, Dan? Are you seeing it?
Yes, I can see it.
Best of
Highly questionable is broadcast from the Clevelander Hotel on beautiful South Beach, Miami. Time to play the game that is a fashion icon. See? Oh no.
You look like a banana. You tell us what to watch on television tonight. We'll tell you if we're intrigued.
Iconic banana.
Yellow.
on NBA League Pass, Grizzlies and Rockets.
What I'm about to tell you does not sound like it's mathematically possible. James Harden scored 38 points last night while going 1 of 17 from 3. Look at this. We're going to show you all of them.
Top of the arc three.
Looks like the Rockets in Game 7 last year against the Warriors. That's not sped up. That's real time. That's how he plays. Everything is short.
He's still going.
Yeah, everything is short. Nothing in the legs. Why is that? Because he was in Miami a couple of days ago, and that'll take the legs right out of you. Izzy, are you intrigued?
I'll remind you after watching that his GM, Daryl Morey, called him possibly the best offensive player of all time.
All time. Alshon Jeffrey says he's got the best hands in the league. It's funny. Poppy, are you intrigued?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued. Maybe he misses Melo, you know?
Yeah.
Memaybe he's trying to imitate Melo, you know what I mean?
Yes,
That's it,
it
that's
was
right.
a
And all
tribute
these
video.
misses, you know?
Tribute video to Melo, exactly.
Somebody's got to fill his shoes.
On ABC, The Bachelor.
Oh, go to hell, all of you.
Wow, are you kidding me? That's my favorite show.
But it's the first episode, man.
How are you? Okay, you're a pro at this.
Izzy, are you intrigued?
You should have said it in an accent, Dan. No.
Poppy, what about you?
Oh, see, I'm very intrigued, but that happens to me every time I use my Australian accent, I mean, serious, mate, put another shrimp in the basket, in the barbecue, in the barbie. Okay. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you for watching.
Dan, she used a fake accent.
And we leave you today with some video of Adam Gates without the hat.
Poor guy.